Hello and welcome to Nowhere. My name is Trish and I am the creator behind Nowhere Novelty. As I mentioned last Thursday, unfortunately, the actual video footage for this tutorial is gone, deleted. I'm a dummy and I tried to free up space on my phone, and unfortunately I ended up deleting the footage of these tutorials and I wasn't able to save the video, the full-length video that I had created. So to still show you the cups that I made, I am just gonna kind of talk through the process in a much shorter, condensed version of the video, just here in person in my craft room. And hopefully that's good enough. If you have any questions, just list them in the comments below and I will go over them with you. So this is the cup for this video today. It is a river table inspired cup. If you're unfamiliar with what a river table is, basically these artists, resin artists, take two slabs of a tree with live edge and kind of sandwich them together, leaving a space in between where that live edge meets. And they fill that space with epoxy, tinted epoxy. Typically it's blue so that it looks like a river running through that live edge. This cup is inspired by Jessica Flynn. She did a tutorial on this technique, I believe last year or 2 years ago, on her channel, Flynn Sisters Boutique. So if you want a good Tumbler tutorial where it's actually happening in real time, go check her out. I'll actually link her if I can. So to create this cup, I started with a white base painted, spray painted white with Rustoleum. To create the blue base underneath the wood grain, I started with, I believe, like 20 milliliters of epoxy. You don't need too much because this is going on a completely plain cup. There's no glitter, so you don't want to over mix. So I believe it was 20 milliliters of epoxy. And into that epoxy, I added alcohol inks. These are from the company Inkwave. I got them off of Amazon. They will be listed in the description box. The colors I used are Cerulean Blue and Viridian, which is green. So I also add a little bit of sparkle. It's hard to tell on camera. Oh, there it is. It's catching in the light. So to add a little bit of sparkle as well to the blue, I added a little bit of this Duo Blue-Green Mica powder from PearlEx. Again, listed and linked down in the description box. So I got a mixture that I thought looked good. It's a little light. I would have gone a little bit darker than this. But I did end up liking the overall look when it was on the cup. Once that epoxy layer is completely cured, you don't have to do 2 layers because the mica powder and alcohol inks leave a nice smooth layer. There's no chunky glitter to get smooth. So you're ready to move right into the next step. You are going to base paint or spray paint over the epoxied layer, black first. So as you can see, to create that kind of live edge look, I did a black layer first. And then once that layer is dry, you go right in with a layer of white. The next step in the process, once your spray paint is dry, is to distress. You don't want to do the wood grain first because the distressing process can move that alcohol ink and the alcohol ink can stain. So you don't want to stain the epoxy, the blue epoxy underneath. So we're going to distress it first. The distressing process is just like last week's tutorial with the oval geode. You want to alternate between using acetone. Acetone takes off a lot of spray paint. And then you also want to use alcohol to kind of find detail and get the all of the mess, the cloudiness, the extra spray paint off of the section that you created. You're ready to move on to creating the wood grain look. So I use a sponge paintbrush, if you want to call it that, a little sponge brush. You can use makeup brushes, you can use a chip brush. Really, it's just whatever your heart desires and how you like the final outcome. So wood grain is a technique that you definitely have to try multiple times to perfect. Some people use one color of alcohol ink and that's all they need. Me personally, I like variation in the color. I like some dark, I like some light, I like some reddish tones. So I actually use 4 different alcohol inks. They're Tim Holtz brand, so I think you can get them off of Amazon, but I get them from Michael's. So Espresso is the darkest shade. That one actually comes in a trio set with a pink and a turquoise, kind of like a Western theme, but I wanted to get like a nice dark brown as well. And then these 3 colors, caramel, latte, and ginger, come in a set of 3. I think it's designed for wood grain. So to create the wood grain, what I end up doing is with my sponge applicator, I put the alcohol inks on the edge of the sponge applicator and then brush downward to create the kind of stroke effect. If I didn't have the distressed spots taken away already, I would just put a line of the alcohol ink on the cup and kind of do my strokes there, but I needed to work around the distressing. So I wanted to put the inks on the sponge applicator first and then go in and kind of be a little more detailed going around my distress spots. So to create more of this like knotted or overlap look, you basically want to take your whatever brush you're using, my sponge applicator or your makeup brush or whatever you're using, with a little bit of extra alcohol ink, and you want to like push the alcohol ink into itself. Like creating that like repetitive stroke is gonna push all of the alcohol ink onto itself and create that knotted look. Once you're satisfied with the wood grain on your cup, you're done. 2 layers of final coats of epoxy, and that's it. This cup comes together super easily. It's really just like 2 steps if you think about it. And I think it's really nice, especially for maybe a man as opposed to like a glitter cup. This will be really nice for someone like a really classic male cup. Again, sorry for the informal videos. This is not ideal, but I'm so mad at myself for deleting those videos, but I still wanted you guys to see these cups. Thursday's video will be back to normal. Again, I learned my lesson, so no more weird videos like this. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.